first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for being willing to do this. I've been watching your stuff since late on in Steven Universe Future Rewritten, so this is awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Also, just one thing that I wrote in my notes. In order to not have to say Steven Universe Future Rewritten and FNAF Security Breach Rewritten over and over, if I say Future and Security Breach, unless I'm specifying canon, I mean the rewrites.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Okay. And just to start with, just a couple out of pure curiosity. If you feel comfortable answering, are you ADHD or autistic?
My therapist thinks that I'm ADHD, but I haven't heard anything about autistic.
Yeah, I know I have ADHD, I'm pretty sure I'm also autistic, and just the vibes you give off, I guess.
My cat is trying to climb on top of me, so if you hear something, that's probably the cat. Just
okay. Okay, and then, another just general curiosity. How many siblings do you have, if you don't mind answering?
I got 2.
Cool. Okay. I literally am just asking because I know you've mentioned your sibling Pidge before, which is not awkward in the slightest whenever I hear you mention them.
I saw your name and I was like, wait a second. Is this like an undercover operation or something?
No. But yeah, that's always actually, ironically, half the reason I chose this name is because during Steven Universe Future Rewritten, I heard you say something about your sibling, and it just made me realize, wait a sec, that's a name that I'd like to have.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so, because I've been a Voltron fan for a while, and I'd always kind of clicked with Pidge for reasons I couldn't quite put into words, and then you mentioned that you had a sibling named Pidge, and I was just like, wait, pop culture names, that's a thing I can do. Awesome, let's do this.
Yeah.
So, okay, now things that actually might get put into the video. How did you originally decide to start your channel?
It was a really, really long time ago, and that was, like, before the original thing that I went with was DeviantArt, and I don't recommend trying to find my DeviantArt page, it's cringe, but I wasn't
Well, now you know I'm going to.
No, don't try and find it, I hope it gets buried, but, so, I wasn't getting very much attention there, and at some point I decided I think the video is still up, except there was like a Cuphead animation that I made, so I made it on YouTube, and on YouTube I got a lot more attention, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna move on to YouTube, so I started making more animations.
When I started writing the script, I looked at your original channel just to see, what's the oldest video on here? Primarily just for dates, and I believe it was a Cuphead animatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and on that note, your oldest video is dated to June of 2018, but your channel itself has existed since a little while before that. Are there any videos you deleted, or is that just a situation of YouTube automatically created the channel because you had the account?
Well, I didn't like post anything before that. I had the channel before, and then eventually I ended up a lot later started posting videos. So it's not like I deleted anything.
Okay, I didn't really think so. I just figured, may as well check. Okay. Also, how did you come up with the name KiwiQueen 13?
It was a long time ago, but I think it was this is a pretty simple answer, but I think it's just because I like kiwis.
That's fair.
It just sounded cool. It's not like a super deep meaning or anything.
Also related to that, why Peridot for the profile picture?
Oh, another. I just thought the picture looked funny.
Fair enough. Were you a Steven Universe fan at that point, or was it literally just Because the picture was funny.
Oh, I was a big Steven Universe fan.
Hell yeah. Okay, and this is the last just general thing. Another that probably isn't gonna make it into the video, I'm just kind of curious about. So, I've heard you talk at length about how difficult everything is because of the migraines. Do those migraines also make it so you can't, like, read or anything, or is it specifically in regards to looking at screens?
It makes it more difficult to read. It's complicated because like the screens makes it twice as bad, except reading, you know how like your eyes need to kind of go inwards to focus on something close up? That like
Yeah.
strains it, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Also, when the original migraine crisis during the work on Future Rewritten, when that happened, how long were you actually able to look at screens at all? Because I remember you saying stuff, but it was also in that state of like, I just need to vent about this, so it was kind of confusing to follow.
Yeah, like back before I had medication and we didn't know what was going on, it was like 10 minutes and then it would be excruciating pain, so it was like pretty much just couldn't look at it because it was too risky.
Alright. Now, on to questions about Future. What made you originally decide to rewrite Steven Universe Future?
I was really into Steven Universe at the time, and I was following Future's like episodes. Every single time an episode would come out, we would all watch it. And the last episode, well, not the last, but the one with the Steven Universe like turning into the giant pink monster. Like I was watching it, and at first I was just kind of unsatisfied, but then me and my siblings were talking more and more about it, and we just started getting more and more frustrated, and we were like, this is not how we want this to go. So I started writing the first chapter and eventually started writing more chapters, and I realized this is like a whole book. So pretty much just powered on by dissatisfaction, I continued making it until it was done.
Fair enough. I obviously also a fan of Steven Universe, and I was also there watching each episode of Future as it dropped. But I, being a few years younger than you, when I saw it, I wasn't so much dissatisfied with it in the sense of like, I wish this were better, as I was just in the sense of, oh man, my funny show about rocks is a lot less funny now.
Uh-huh.
Because I checked out Stephen. Okay, I'm not gonna go on the whole tangent about it because we'd be here forever. But I basically originally checked out Steven Universe because I heard Stronger Than You and liked it, and then I stuck with the show because it was so much fun and so gay, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then Future came out. The movie came out, and I loved it. And Future came out, and I was so excited to actually be in the fandom, because by the time I first watched Steven Universe Future, the finale of the original series had already dropped, so I was playing catch-up for the whole show.
Oh.
So when Future dropped, I was really, really excited to be in the fandom for everything. I was watching so many analysis videos after I watched every single episode. Yeah. And as it started getting darker, I was just like, this isn't what I signed up for. What's going on?
My rewrite might have not been exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah. It was rough. I'm just gonna say that.
I was going for something completely different.
Yeah, but I still really liked it. So, what do you do? Okay. Also, follow up to that. How long before the trailer being released did you have pretty much the whole story written out?
I remember I definitely finished the first part. You know how the epilogue started? I had pretty much everything before the epilogue done before I started doing stuff.
Alright. Okay. Did you ever expect that it would get anywhere near as popular as it did?
Not really. I kind of expected like 10 or so likes, but I was mostly just doing it because I liked doing it, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. And also, like, oh, good. What was your reaction as you started being like, oh wait, this is getting really freaking popular, what's going on?
I remember distinctly. It was like a feeling of stage fright almost, which was really weird because I wasn't standing in front of any people. But like the numbers kept on going up over the days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people watching this right now. Oh no, what if it's not good enough? I didn't realize people would actually look at this. You know?
Oh, trust me, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, also, this still on the note of future, but not quite related to that. When did the original migraine crisis happen? Because I know it was during somewhere in the production of Future, but your original announcement event video already you said that the whole main saga was done. So how long in the process did you start having really nasty migraines?
It started happening when I was transitioning the reading and writing part into an audiobook like form with all the drawings and stuff, because I was like crippling the amount of time I was doing screen stuff. So I was drawing and I was voice acting and editing, and so that started, you know, snowballing into the condition I have now.
Yikes. Okay. Alright. And then, from how long did that original crisis go before you were at least able to, like, kind of get back to work?
It was about 6 months, I remember. And that's finally when the medicine started actually working, and I was able to start spending like 15 minutes on the screen, and then 30 minutes, and then an hour, you know, slowly building up.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I've been following your stuff for a while, but by the time I found, actually a lot like when I found Canon Steven Universe, when I found your rewrite, it was pretty much already done. So I think there were a few chapters of the epilogue you hadn't posted yet, but by the time I got to that point, you had, because you wrote a really, really long story there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, and I loved it, but it was so long, and
Yeah.
I basically just I was out of town for a few weeks on vacation up in New York, and I spent practically that entire vacation just binging through your entire rewrite.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, but because that I also don't really know the timeline for all this stuff, because I'm just like, yeah, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and it was all before I found the channel.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Also, this is going to I'm sure this is gonna sound kind of cringy, but I will want to have some recording of you talking about it. Describe describe how it felt when the first migraine crisis started happening, and you were just like, holy crap, I can't do anything. I cannot look at screens.
It was really, really rough, because obviously I didn't just wake up and the condition was there. It was like a very, very slow, over the weeks, my head was hurting more and more, and I had to stop doing the animations that I loved so much. And I thought at first, okay, I'm just going to take a week off. Maybe the headaches will go away. But then after that week off, it still wasn't better. So I did 2 weeks off and then 3 weeks off, and I started freaking out about it. It was a pretty rough time in my life where, like, the thing that I loved the most was taken away from me. It felt really, really cruel, you know? It was bad, and eventually realizing this isn't like a normal headache. This is a condition. Like, I literally burned my brain. So it was pretty bad. It was one of the scariest things that I've experienced, honestly. Just a bunch of awfully painful symptoms happening for you don't know why, you don't have any answers. You're
Yeah.
just like, why is my head hurting so much? It was bad. I'm so glad it's over. Like finally getting through and understanding what it actually is a big relief.
Yeah, I get that. I have more questions regarding like how you are at this point later, but I'm gonna get to that once we're talking about security breach. So, okay, at what point did you start handwriting future instead of typing it?
uh I think it was probably around the epilogue because I think at that point I was like going to school again because summer ended or something like that. If not then it was just because I wanted to work more on it. So I was able to use my hands instead of my eyes. So I started working on it so I could continue the epilogue and hopefully get this thing done.
Using your hands.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. Okay. Right. So the epilogue to the rewrite of the ending of the limited epilogue series is substantially longer than that entire limited epilogue, and future in total is probably longer than at least a full season of canon.
Yeah.
Why did you make it so long?
Well, I mean, it was as long as it needed to be, Since I wasn't like trying to negotiate with Cartoon Network, I didn't need to worry about, okay, you have 10 episodes to wrap this up or anything. So I was just using the amount of time that I needed to tell the story, And it ended up being very, very big, but that's the story. That's the amount of time that I needed to tell the story,
And it also ended up being very, very good, so it worked out.
Yay.
Okay. Now, moving into questions about security breach. Okay. When did you decide to start rewriting security breach?
Okay, so funny story. I got COVID and I was stuck in my room for like a week. And at that exact moment, my FNAF phase came back because Security Breach had come out and Markiplier was about done playing his section of the game, And so my FNAF phase hit, combined with me being completely isolated in my room. I started to rewrite it, and this thing was originally. You want to know how big this thing was originally going to be?
How big?
It was going to be one video essay.
Oh, actually, yes, I do vaguely remember, because some of the stuff that I'm asking specifically for security breach is, like, there are still videos regarding that you posted regarding, from Steven Universe Future, but for security breach, because so much of what you said was community posts, they've since been deleted, because I assume it's everything older than like a year and a half or something. The old community posts just aren't up anymore, so I can't find anything regarding that. Yeah, but I do actually vaguely remember, because like I said, I've been following your stuff since Future, so and I remember seeing you be like, I think I'm gonna rewrite. I remember something to the effect of, I believe you were gonna rewrite Transformers Prime, right? And then you decided to give that up?
Oh, yeah, it was either Transformers Prime or FNAF.
Yeah, I remember community posts of like, I think I'm gonna rewrite Transformers Prime, not in the same way as I did.
Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Transformers Prime. It was the series after Transformers Prime, the Robots in Disguise thing. Because, like, Transformers Prime was, like, perfect. It's, like, a masterpiece. But Robots in Disguise was horrible. So I wanted... And since it was in the same timeline as Prime, I wanted to, like, respect Prime and give it an actual sequel that was good. But, nope, I ended up doing the FNAF stuff instead.
Yeah. For the record, I know basically nothing about Transformers. My only experience with it is people making fun of the Bayformers movies, and this really fun series I found that my dad found when I was like 5, I want to say, possibly younger, that this guy named James Farr made called Transformers, which was Transformers meets Thomas the Tank Engine, and it was so much fun.
Wow.
So now I'm just over here. So anytime I think about Transformers, I don't think of Transformers, I think of Transformers.
Wow.
Okay, right. How long did it take to get as much planned for security breach as was needed before you could start uploading?
A very, very long time, because it was originally going to be a video essay, and it started like evolving like a tadpole to a frog. It started as a video essay, okay, maybe an essay for each episode, and maybe I'm going to animate some parts. Then no, actually, it would be just faster if I just write it. And then writing. Oh my gosh, this is a whole book. Should I just rewrite it like I did Future? And then yep, we're going to rewrite it now. So I was like pretty far along into Gregory destroying Monty, which was the original plan, but I decided not to do that. But pretty much into Gregory meeting Monty whenever I decided, okay, I'm going to officially start doing this like I did Future and actually voice act and edit and stuff.
Okay. And I... Oh, yeah. Alright, so, okay, so I have two basically back-to-back questions about that. So to explain what I mean, okay, how much did you have outlined before you started posting anything? And then how many chapters did you just fully have written?
I think outlined, it definitely wasn't to the point of the epilogue section that we're doing right now with Act 4, but I don't think it was even the end of Act 3 that I had. It was mostly Act 1 and 2 that were out, and yeah. And what was the second one? It was...
And how many chapters did you have fully written out to completion? All you had to do was voice act and edit.
Oh, just up to Monty's.
Alright.
Like where Gregory first meet Monty's.
Okay. And then, when did your original Hands crisis happen?
I remember the last chapter I typed was the daycare chapter in Act 4.
Okay, and are you because I know
Oh, wait, I got that wrong. That was when the second migraine crisis happened. What was the Hands one? Oh, wait, I was writing on paper around Act 4. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I finished the writing portion of Act 4 where I was doing the rough drafts and stuff. And it's not exactly how it is now because I needed to add extra chapters later, but I was writing with my hands at school in between assignments. And that at that point I was doing Act 4, and around Act 4 while I was writing it, stuff started happening. I think like the last chapter that I hand wrote before realizing there was an issue was the fight with Vanny, like at the very end, the final fight.
The fall of Vanny, which I did not expect to be so literal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know everyone in the comments made that joke, myself included, but it's still funny.
Yeah, she had a death.
I read the title, The Fall of Vanny. I wasn't expecting literally.
Yeah, she had the death of a Disney villain.
Yeah. Okay. And I know you're still dealing with the migraines, not as severely, but you are. Are you still dealing with the hands issues as well?
Yeah, this is an injury that is going to take years to do, but it's getting a lot better recently, where I think I only need about like 3 days of recovery in between several days of drawing or typing. So it's getting a lot better. It's just a very, very, very slow recovery because your tendons have to, exercise, and then you rest them for a little bit and then exercise and then rest. It's like inching along, but I'm getting close to normal now, so that's really good. I'm going to make sure not to do this ever again. I have learned my lesson.
That's also what you said after Future. So...
Yeah, but this time I really learned it. Okay, I've learned that it can happen to more than one part of my body.
Okay, how did you decide to start having the end of chapter lore?
That was a thing that I planned since the very beginning, actually. Because FNAF is known for its mysterious lore, and I'm gonna be really mysterious. I got an idea how I can slowly reveal their backgrounds and stuff like that. So I've actually, I think that the lore is the thing that was one of the first things that I developed, because I didn't want it to be a thing where, like, I figure out the lore halfway through and then I'm like, whoops, I like, what's it called? Like, I contradicted it a few chapters ago. It's like, oh no. I didn't want to take the route that Scott Cawthon did, where he's like, oh no, now I have to rewrite my entire thing.
I was about to say, in other words, you didn't want to just do what Scott did.
Yeah, so I got all the lore straight before doing, like, official releases and stuff.
Alright. So you already had everything in regards to the lore planned out before you were ever actually posting anything?
Yeah, just to make sure that I knew the whole story before starting it.
Alright. Okay. I had other stuff that I thought of while we were talking, and then realized that and then I thought I'd written lower, and I thought I'd written lower and just hadn't. So I'm gonna look through the questions again just to see if I can remember any of those.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, on the note about the migraines, how long can you look at screens now?
Right now, I can look at them about 30 minutes at a time. And so I do, like, on good days, I can do, like, 4 sessions where I space it out throughout the day. But right now, I'm trying to do 3 sessions a day just to make sure I don't push it. So just 3 30-minute sessions a day. It's very annoying, because right now I'm going through a secondary wave of this migraine issue because amitriptyline stopped working on me. You already know the drill. Before that, I was able to do it a lot longer, like an hour and 30 minutes each session, but life decided to be a jerk to me again, so I'm starting over.
Okay. So when you had that second migraine crisis shortly after the epilogue started, was that migraine crisis the same level of bad as the first one?
Yeah, and that was the freaky thing, because it was as bad as it was when I wasn't taking medication, so that was absolutely terrifying, And it turns out it's just because amitriptyline and propranolol, they both stopped working on me, because apparently if you use it for too long, it stops working. So of course it felt like I wasn't using anything.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then these 4 are almost certainly not gonna be put in the video, except as maybe little jokes. But I just have 4 regarding security breach that are just purely out of my own curiosity. First of all, how many chapters will it be in total, including Gregory's epilogues?
Oh boy. Hang on, I have to look at the board, because it's 50. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so 50 plus 22. Whatever that is. 5, 6, 7, so 72 chapters then.
Just jotted that in my notes as 50, 72 with the Gregalogs.
Yeah. Luckily, Gregory's aren't as long, but still, they do count as chapters.
Yeah.
I have got my work cut out for me.
Yeah. Okay, will we ever find out how we're receiving the end of chapter lore?
Oh, well, definitely, yeah. It's not like a thing I'll like break the fourth wall and be like, hey, this is how this is happening. It's more like you'll have it to, what's it called? Not improvised. What is it? It starts with an I. Inferred. It'll be inferred, basically.
Okay. Will we ever learn Mrs. Miller's name?
Oh yeah, you do in you did in the second half of the daycare.
Oh, because the newest chapter is just so freaking long, I have not gotten a chance to listen to it yet.
Yeah, I understand. You have to wait until a special moment to get an hour and 30 minutes down.
Yeah, and
if you want to know right now, do you want to just know right now?
I listen to stuff at an increased speed, and even still, I can't do that. That's so long. I'm busy prepping for AP exams and SATs. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get offended. You can watch it whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll get to it when I have the chance, but that might be a while.
Do you want to just know her name right now, because it's not like a big secret?
Sure, why not?
Her name's Jessica.
Ta-da. Alright. Yeah, that's probably the only one that might appear in the video, just in, like, there's a section when I'm talking about the lore, because I already have most of the script written. I'm just using this interview for just little extras, and there's a section that I have written that's, like, and I'm not gonna tell you all the lore about Vanessa Miller, her brother Jeremy, her father Victor, or her mother, and then I'm gonna use the same kind of redacted static that you use in the entries that we're not allowed to hear. But I wasn't gonna do that if we were never gonna actually learn Mrs. Miller's name.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, that's cruel to anyone who sees this.
Yeah,
if they find out that they're never gonna learn her name.
Yeah, that would just be sad. There's not a reason to keep her name out of it. It just didn't come up inside the logs yet.
Okay. Oh, also, will we ever finally get access to the unredacted versions of the redacted logs?
Oh yeah, you will.
Oh yeah.
It'll be great.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited.
Okay then. And will we find out why they're redacted?
Oh yeah, it's like another inferred thing where you can think, why would they not want us to know that, you know?
Okay. And why is Monty a cowboy?
Okay. It was more just I wanted his theme to be more collected. You know, like, I didn't really like the swamp stuff as much for some reason, and I thought, oh, what if he was like a cowboy? Like, some people voice him with southern accents and stuff, so I just thought it would be cool. It's like, okay, well, if he's gonna have a southern accent, I might as well lean into that whole theme, so he's a cowboy now.
Fair enough.
I just thought it would be goofy.
I'm from Virginia and my mom is from Texas, so I can definitely appreciate a nice southern vibe to things.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that is all the questions I had. I'm not thinking of anything else off the top of my head.
Okay.
Alright, okay, thank you so much for doing this, and also, I just remembered, I would just like to apologize for every single time that I've fully misunderstood how you were so good at writing this, and told you, please, Kiwi, I'm begging you, get help in the comments. Oh. I get that you're just a good writer.
Yeah. A lot of people get concerned. My own parents get concerned whenever they're writing that stuff, and they're like, are you okay? Like, do you feel like this about us? And we're like, no, you're good parents. It's okay.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I just, like, it's like I also am a writer, and a lot of what I write is very much pulled from my own experiences. So I always get nervous when
Yeah.
I see someone so good at writing something like that is so dark like that.
There is some of the stuff. There is like a piece of me in each of the characters, but usually it's like exaggerated. You know,
Mm,
like how I do have diagnosed anxiety, and I've exaggerated that inside of Moon. You know, it's easier to write
ah,
stuff if you've experienced a form of that before. You know,
yeah.
so I am kind of mentally ill, but not to the extent that my characters are. It's more like
Yeah.
It's more like venting for me. You know.
Mm. All right. Yeah, so I think that was everything. And one more thing. I have been planning for a while, just as a video essay. I love your stuff, but I'm not putting myself through that. But I have been planning that I think I'm gonna do a video essay rewrite of from of Sister Location sometime over the summer. Would you be
Oh,
interested in doing something like that with me?
Oh, I'm not super good at collabs and stuff. And also I have other projects that I want to like focus on. Like right after this, I think I want to start writing actual books, you know,
Hmm,
stuff that's for original things. So I don't think
nice.
I would have enough time.
Fair enough.
But
I've
that sounds like a cool video idea though.
thanks. Yeah, I was just like, I don't necessarily know if you'll say yes or anything, but I figure if we're already gonna be on this call for the interview, I may as well ask.
Yeah.
Alright, so, yeah, though, this has been a lot of fun, and oh, if while I'm editing or going back to revise the script, I think of anything else, do you mind if I just shoot you a message on Discord to ask, like, hey, insert thing here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Okay. In that case, I will hopefully communicate with you again, if nothing else, in the comments of your videos. And thank you so much for being willing to do this interview.
You're welcome. It was really fun. This has never happened before. I got really nervous.
Trust me, I fully spent like 3 days in the lead up to leaving that comment asking like, hey, would you be down to do this with me? Where I was just like, should I do this? Should I not? I want to do this, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, then thank you for agreeing to do this, and, bye!
Okay, bye.